Hi, I'm Janice. I'm a sewer and the founder of Measuring to Fit. So today we are going to talk about the Juki, what we call entry-level sewing machine. If this is your first electronic sewing machine that you are thinking of buying, moving from your manual machine to electronic one, entry level, I would recommend the 29Z or the 27Z. 29Z and the 27Z actually has the same feature. It's just that the color and the design may be slightly different, that's all. Right, so let's talk about what can the Juki 29Z do. The 29Z has the utility stitches. The last time we talked about straight stitches and as well as what we'll call the straight stitches, and then we have the zigzag stitches. Why do we want all these kind of utility stitches? Is because we can sew stretchable fabric with these utility stitches. Sorry about that, right? My tongue got tight with all this SS. So one is that you can sew the stretchable with the zigzag, the triple step zigzag, the triple Z zigzag, and some of the features that I would like to tell you that the Juki can do, this 29Z is able to do, is that it can sew buttonholes like this. And for the Juki 29Z, it is a 4-step buttonhole, as in they will sew one time with this one side, then they'll do a bar tack here, then they go up, and then they do another bar tack. So that's why 4-step, first step, second step, third step, fourth step. So it's a 4-step buttonhole with the Juki sewing machine. Then the other thing that we will, as a beginner sewer, these are one of the issues with fabric that we have, the fray and all the thread that is coming out of the side of your fabric. So what the Juki is able to do, or any sewing machine for that matter, that has what we'll call the overcast stitch. These are called the overcast stitch. This number 11 is an overcast stitch, and then number 5 is also an overcast stitch, which I like to use. Okay, so what does the overcast stitch do is it will sew by the sides of your, can you see the, I did try to use a brighter green color thread so that you will be able to see when we sew the overcast stitch. It is similar to an overlock machine, except that it is more further apart. The stitch length is further apart. Okay, definitely with the sewing machine, to sew the overlock stitches, you will not get it as good as the dedicated overlock machine, but at least for a start, because you're a beginner, you do not want to buy so many machines. So the Juki 29Z or any other sewing machine for that matter that has this overcast stitches, then you are able to deal with all the fraying sides, of all your fabric. Okay, in my course, my 6-part course for the beginners, I have actually a few techniques that you can use to also deal with all your sides, right? And if you're interested, just private message me and I will tell you about the course that I teach, more details on the course. Right, let's go back to the Juki sewing machine. So what are the features of the sewing machine? Right, basically this sewing machine can adjust your stitch size. This is where you adjust your stitch size. Now a lot of the sewing machine, the basic entry-level sewing machine, once you go to these kind of stitches, when we move on to the purple line here, when we move on to this stitches, you can no longer adjust your stitch length. But Juki, in this 29Z model, I find this is very unique, as in they still can adjust your 3 stitch length, but only 3, you can still adjust your stitch length, but only in 3 different stitch length, which is this, which is the closer one, the middle one, and the more further apart. So 3 stitch length. When you're sewing your basic sewing here, these stitch lengths are available for you to adjust: 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, up to 4 stitch length. The moment you go to these stitches here, right, you move up to here, the purple ones, so you're limited to 3 stitch length. There are a lot of sewing machine out there. The moment you move to this kind of stitches, you no longer can adjust stitch length. That's one of the benefits of sewing machine. The other thing I would like to highlight to you is that the Juki sewing machine, we have actually, people have opened up the whole the machine from the inside, and we find that the working parts in the Juki 29Z, 27Z as well, it's made of metal frame. So the working parts are metal, so it makes it more durable, right? For this price range, the Juki 29Z. The other thing that I like about Juki 29Z here in Malaysia is that I'm working with the dealer here, Konwa. They have a dedicated service team to help maintain and support, to give you backup service for the machine. Some brand here in Malaysia actually no longer, or they don't have any backup service. You have to call an independent service person in order to service your sewing machine. So remember, when you buy a sewing machine, other than getting its feature, the backup service is very important. So in terms of tutorial and help regarding the sewing machine, you can check with me, Janice. If you have gotten your sewing machine with me, I will help you as far as I can. And then the backup service is provided by the dealer, which is Konwa sewing machine dealer. Right? So I hope that is a helpful information for you when you decide on buying your sewing machine.